Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Well, it's starting to rain again in Israel. I love living in a country where people get excited about rain. Rain's a good thing. It's not like growing up in Manchester where, like, it's raining again. Here it's something new. And I think that's what I wanted to just catch an idea that has really struck me this week. I've had a really intense few months. Don't know, I guess winter, heaviness, been in tune with that like natural rhythm of going inside, and now we're like stepping into a new energy. We've just entered into the month of Adar, which is a month that's connected with joy. And it's a month in which we celebrate Purim, which is happening after this Shabbat. And, you know, everything is laden with meaning, and the timing has meaning, and the message. And I'm like so struck by the connection of a few things that are coming together for me at the moment. So let's see if I can share it eloquently. So, apart from the fact that I felt like I've been in a bit of a depression recently, thank God not a chemical depression, not a chemical imbalance, probably hormonal, life, you know, being a parent to little kids, like, etc., etc. The routine of life, like, and it's been quite oppressive for me, and I haven't felt the ability to like break free from that. However, these past few days, I've really been connecting to the energy of this month, which it's like a new transformative energy. In Purim, we celebrate as we're telling the story of a point in Jewish history. After the destruction of the Second Temple, we'd had to leave the land of Israel. I think we were in Persia, if I'm not mistaken. And there's this historical event that happened that we retell every year, this time of year. And one of the main messages that comes through Purim is this idea that on the surface it can seem one way, and that way can seem pretty dire. But what's actually happening underneath is a sequence of events that are leading to a totally different outcome than what we were expecting, and actually a redemptive outcome. That the story of Purim is that like the Jews there was a decree that was it, we were going to be destroyed. And not only did it come from the outside, but the Jews themselves didn't really, they were so traumatized, I would imagine, from the destruction of the temple, that didn't really want to even have anything to do with Judaism anymore. It's too painful. Like, let's just be, you know, like everyone else. What's the problem? Let's just live like a peaceful, normal life. And by the end of it, they're like proudly standing up and fighting for survival. So the fighting piece, yeah, we should be done with that by now. But what I've gone through this process over the past few months, or at least what's happened today or yesterday, was so I've been trying to change my son's school, and as I went to do what I thought was like the final piece in the puzzle, the authorities, the powers that be, said to me, no, sorry, too late, you've missed the chance. I'm like, what do you mean too late? No way, this has to happen. This absolutely has to happen. Now, it just so happens in Israel that, you know, there's the law, the rule, and then there's like a little gateway at the side that, you know, if you know the right people, or if you've got enough chutzpah, which is enough cheek, holy chutzpah, enough like gumption to go after what you want, you're going to be able to make it happen if it's meant to be. And being English, I'm used to, in some ways, abiding by the rules and knowing like, and then also like just not really feeling brave enough necessarily to like go against the powers that be. So having spoke to friends and whatnot, people were like, you've just got to be really Israeli about this. Just go after it, go after it. And so, you know, I went against my better nature, even though I know within there's definitely, I've always been able to bite the bullet and just like do whatever needs to be done. But like as I've become more sensitive and more spiritually aware, and allowing myself to feel all the feelings, like the fear that comes up, you know, can become like a blocker. And so I basically managed to go against my better nature and just like do this thing. And that's something that we see in the Purim story. And that's something that we are seeing coming up a lot in the, or at least I'm seeing it coming up in my life at the moment, where it's like, you know what, you've just got to do it. And you've got to do something different. And in one of the Geula Summit talks that I've been listening to over the past few weeks, which have been amazing, there's one with Rabbi, what's his name? Okay. The rabbi from the Mayan Shul in LA, if it comes to me, I'll share. But he gives over that, you know, if you want to see miracles, you have to be a miracle. And what's being a miracle? It's like doing something unexpected, outside of your nature, something that you didn't think you could do or weren't going to do, and like suddenly, you do it. And that when we can like break free from the structure like that, break free from our habits, break free from our pattern behavior, choose something different, well, then we open up a space where something different can come in. And yeah, so as we're entering into Shabbat, where we stop from doing and we create space and we just be also, and we prepare for Purim, and time where we really get to just daven for and pray and bring down the miracles and the transformation and the things that we want and feel with the heart that we need. Yeah, so that's where I'm going this Shabbos. All right, that's it. Brought to you from Rainy Butters.